Hold tight, welcome to Plumber Parts. The snowdrops are out, springtime's on the way, but this guy's house, he's got a radiator that won't get hot, all right? We have actually worked in this area already on the same estate, and I'm a little bit worried that we might have the same problem. It looks like a fairly new gas boiler from what I've seen in the photos that I've been sent, and also some higgledy-piggledy pipe work. Max, pack up the stuff, mate, let's go. What's that show where you go to people's houses? It was like the postcode lottery, isn't it? It's the plumber lottery. Bart, how's it going?
Hello, very good.
Great acting. We've already been in here already. I said to Bart,
pretend. Plumber parts is in the house.
He's here, can you believe it? Come on, Bart, let's go in.
Come on.
First things first, boots off, yeah. Get these with a 10% discount code below, innit? These are why these boots are so good, Max. I'd literally wear them to my wedding if I could, but Emily wouldn't let me. What's been happening? Why have you got me here today?
We have a huge massive radiator, biggest one in the house, which simply doesn't work.
Where is
Never
it?
has.
Show.
In the kitchen. After watching your video, I managed to get the top hot, but the bottom is still cold, and the return pipe is just lukewarm.
Okay, did you do the plumbing on this radiator?
I did. So if there's any,
Having watched Plumber Parts?
Yes.
We should look at this. 45s, look at that.
It was late. It was, I might have been on a hangover.
There is supposed to be like a worktop going on here with the head of the TRV sticking out the top of it so it gets accurate kind of room temperature. So yeah, there is a reason for that. You said about the airing cupboard earlier on. You sent me a photo. Let's have a look at it. I want to see. Can we also just take in the fact that he loves bananas. Look how many bananas.
15 kilos a week.
15 kilos a week? That must be so
We get
expensive.
questions, yes.
You get strange questions.
Yes.
I should do the same with meat. No offence. I do love steak. I wish I had a steak wall. Anyway, come on.
The smell would be different.
Yeah, it would. So, airing cupboard, I've had a little look already. Bart, you've already identified a problem with what's in here because he's watched the videos, you see. So, we've got a standard S-plan system in here, as we all know about. Sorry, Bart, I'm just going to jump in. The boiler's up in the loft. We've got the flow and return from the boiler on these two pipes here. That is on the flow. Really, that wants to protect the boiler. That wants to be on the boiler side, on the return. So we've got a 2-port valve for the radiators here, and then a 2-port valve for the hot water here. Hot water's currently off. The heating is currently on. You can always tell that by whether there's pressure on this arm or not, and I'll show you, look on this arm. Let's open it manually. Like that, and then you can latch this in the open position. But if you ever want to know whether it's being cooled to work or not, you can just get the arm and you should just be able to move it really easily because it's already automatically open. Let's go in the loft. Max, you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Oh, there's so many weights up here. Oh, should we do pitch harmonics? Anyway, right, so the board is there. Oh, but you haven't insulated the pipes up here, mate.
Guilty as charged.
Right, so this pipe's here. I'm assuming these don't cross over. Just want to see which one's the return on here. Doesn't bloody say. That one says that's the return. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Always check to make sure they piped out the right way around, just in case, all right? And they have, apart from the fact they've just put this on the wrong side. We've got a big pipework issue here then. I'll describe what we've got as pipework here at the moment, and then I want you to think about what could be wrong with this. What do we not have that we really need to have to be able to do that very important part of the job when we work on heating systems, balancing the heating system out. So we've got our flow coming down here, going through our magnetic filter, which really should be on the return to the boiler, but it's not. It's no big deal as long as there's one on here. It's quite handy to have. We've got a T here, and then we T down to our radiators, and that 22mm feed there feeds all the radiators. But before we get to that, we T off here. We've got a T going down there, and then we've got our 2-port valve for the coil going into the hot water system. Out at the bottom there, we've got the return from that coil with a valve on it. Just first you want to see, that is fairly shut. Then for some reason, we've got a T here with a drain off, lovely. Then another valve, which is here, which I don't know why it's there. But this pipe, so we've got water flowing here, but we've also got water flowing down here, into here, and this tees directly back to the return of the boiler. We know that water likes to take the easiest course, and if it can just circulate around without being forced to go to the other components of the heating system, it's going to do that because it wants to. And at the moment, from what I can see with this pipework layout, we've got a clean 22mm completely free and open return going straight back to the boiler, which means anything that we do to try and force water down to that radiator in the kitchen, we're really going to struggle to do because we're not going to be able to build that pressure up. There's 2 valves here as well, which we don't need. So one of the things I think I'm going to do today is we're going to quickly drain the system out. We're going to whip out one of these valves and we're actually going to put it on this pipe here. So then we can actually regulate the return back to the boiler. It's good that we do have some trickle of hot water going back to the boiler because then it gets a nice sort of measurement of even temperature and it doesn't start short cycling. There's a couple of other reasons as well, but just know that you should be doing it. I think the first thing we should do is just turn everything off apart from that radiator. I just want to see what gets down there. We're just going to pop round as well and just make sure all the radiators are balanced. Look at the back of the van, it's in such a good state at the moment. Really pleased with that, I'm proud of it. I'm just going to get my temperature sensor. And I'm just going to see what that radiator's doing now, so we can get a bit of an idea. Right, let's have a go around now, see what we can find. And then go back, just some rows, and then clean and press. Balancing, we use the small tools. So we've got a little mini adjustable, little mini gripable. Definitely done something to my neck. Twinged something in the gym. Right, we're downstairs, radiator uno. We're going to leave that on 5 at the moment as well because I just want this to continue to be warm. But have you got any AA batteries? Just AA ones, 4. Also, another thing, coffee mug. Now, today we're going to talk about accessories in the world of plumbing as well. These coffee mugs, coffee lasts, stays hot all day, you don't spill it everywhere. Oh! So good thing about the Bosches is you can get normal AA's, right? You don't have to worry about using the usual batteries. Bart's looking for his AA batteries now. I think from now on, I'm just gonna nick them out of people's remotes without telling them. There's murder on the dance floor, but I better not found the groove, DJ. If you want, I can go back to the studio and grab some. He's taken them out of the kids' Xbox controller. Get in there. Right, so look, we've got this sort of tepid at the moment. 37 at the top. I mean, really at the bottom, 24. These are really the 2 parts we want to be looking at. So look, our flow is coming in at 54 and our return is really cold because we're not getting a lot of flow through this radiator. And if Bart is to be believed, there's no sludge in this radiator whatsoever. Oh, wow. That one's balanced already. These are the worst to balance. So look, we'll just give it a quarter and then we'll see how it goes. By the way, shut my finger in the door. It's going to fall off soon, it's sore. That's spanner rash. This one's actually, I mean, not roasting hot, but I think you just got it down, haven't you, at the moment? I mean, it'd be really weird. I would say it'd be weird if I could balance this system up without having to put that valve in on the return in the airing cupboard. Oh, look at that. I went like that. He's balanced it already. Where did you learn to do that, eh? Should have put an invoice in before I got here. Last room. Do you play the piano, Bart? Oh, this is hot. This is really hot. I bet I find it's only a quarter open. There's been no balancing happening here. Huh? Right, and then a quarter back. There we go. So everything's on at the moment apart from the hot water, and the reason we haven't done this with the hot water on at the moment is because it's a temporary service. The hot water's not on all the time. It's only on when it's being called to be on, and it's on usually 25% of the time that the heating's on. So it shouldn't be drawing loads. But one thing we will do is this valve here is our balancing valve back from the hot water cylinder. This needs to be pretty much all the way shut, and then just 1, 2, probably about that much, 1 or 2 turns. And then to test to know that you're actually getting flow through here, just open this up. And I should be able to feel this straight away pretty much. Yeah, that's getting hot. Well, that's getting hot. And then down here, I should feel it go. Yeah, it's nice and cold. Right, let's go and have a look at that radiator, rescan it, see how hot it's getting, and then just do a few things to the radiator, that particular one that we haven't done yet. See if you can guess what they are. Right, so first things first, let's just check the basics. So a lot of people are gonna go, you don't pull the TRV with a set of grips. You give it a tap with the radiator because you could pull it out with a set of grips. You're only gonna pull it out with a set of grips if you're thick. Oh God, I hope I don't do it now. Can you imagine it? Doing. Yeah, you just literally get it like that and hold the grips if you want, and just do that. You know, we're not We're not doing anything mad. We know that one moves and that one's okay, all right? To make sure that the head's working properly, just pop your fingers, just rest it on the damper there, and then actually just shut it, and you should be able to feel it push on your finger a bit. Well, you can even see it, look. It's a lot sort of closer. And then it opens up. Done a lot of videos on TRVs and the endless divorces they cause. Turn it up. So this is fully open at the moment. I can tell because the valve's right up. Little tip as well, when you open stuff up, open valves up, go fully open and then just give them a quarter turn back. So if they seize or anything, you've got a little wiggle each way to kind of unfree them. Yeah, we're not getting that control, are we, Bart? Good thing as well is the brandy doesn't eat away at the plastic. We've just been here a few minutes. I think we are getting slightly more flow because the system's nicely balanced, but look, 36 at the top. And if I go down right to kind of the pipe, inlet pipe, 56 point, sort of the airish. I'll just take a photo of that and then that'll save that on there. We can come back to it in a minute. But the one thing that's really standing out for us is the fact that the return pipe's not getting hot. You might go, oh, TRV's on the return. It's a universal TRV, denoted by the 2 arrows on the body, which means that's okay, it can go there. So what we're going to do, we're going to drain the system down. We're going to put that 22 mil, we're going to cut that into that pipe. Then we're going to shut that back down. And hopefully that'll give us the power that we need, the balancing power to try and force more water down to this radiator. Because I guarantee you we go up into that airing cupboard. Let's go now, come on. Right, so 63 degrees on the side of that. Yeah, we've got some warm stuff going on up here. What's that return feel like? God, return's hot. Thing is, sometimes with thermal cameras, if what you're pointing at is shiny, you won't get a good return off it. So sometimes what I've done in the past with pipes is if you just put a bit of insulation tape around it, then you can get a good return and know what's going on. So let's turn everything off. What we're going to do is cut in here, we're going to pop a valve on there, and then we should have control, because this is roasting, because water's just spilling back all the time, back to the boiler. So that's what we're going to do. Hey! So I'm doing this radiator first because it's the top radiator. When I say the top radiator, I mean it's the one with the highest outlet on it, apart from one over there. But yeah, pressure's dropped in the system now. Right, we've got the system pretty much drained down now. While we're here though, it's just a good idea, I always say this, but these tend to leak. Just see what kind of gunk we've got in here. Ooh, wow, quite a bit in there. So this is the inside of the radiators basically. I was quite surprised to see that, bearing in mind he said that, you know, he's cleaned it and stuff. Lying to me basically. Filthy. Now nice and clean. Got it all sorted out. Just remember later on when we fill the system up, we need to put protection in. He's actually got a 22 mil valve already here. I know it's not got the right colour nut on one end, and it's also got PTFE on the thread, which does absolutely nothing, Bart, but we can still use this for this job, and we're going to today. Look, it's already catching more already. There's a lot more here to clear out than I thought. It's already caught all that lot. Down we go. System definitely needs inhibiting. I would almost say as well it needs cleaning. I mean, look at the state of this. How dirty was that, man? Right, nearly ready. Just going to go to my van, get some paste. It's got the valve. And we're going to cut that in for him now. And then we can shut all the radiators, fill up again. So we're going to need. Right, guys, just want to say, first things first, we could, of course, take this bit out, take this valve out here, put a straight coupling, solder that in and just make that pipe and then put this valve on here. But there's no point. There's no point doing that. There might be a point to it, but I can't think of one. The only reason being is if this pipe doesn't splay and then we can't actually fit this on, but I'm sure we will. What I will do, just make sure, is we'll just slacken this valve here. Make sure that we haven't got loads of water coming out. Shouldn't have anything there. Oh, actually it's probably because this is a low point, so it should have drained out from this point down. So look, cutting the valve in. Now this pipe should come up to about here. So we should be able to just cut the other one about there. Right, so boiler, probably a pump somewhere, which is actually probably sited within the boiler. Then we've got S-plan system, haven't we? As you all know. S-plan systems can split off in multiple zones. So these are the zone valves. That's this, and that's that there. Okay, so that's hot water zone valve. So let's do the hot water zone valve. Goes into a coil inside our tank, and then back to the boiler. And then this is for the radiators, so it goes through multiple radiators and then back. So there's our flow like that. What we often have is a direct spill that goes back to the boiler before these two zone valves. So let's just say we've taken it off here and that goes all the way down here. And that pipe there, which isn't controlled by the zone valves, is this pipe here, okay? Now, what you usually have is a strangling valve, which I will just draw like this. And that we sort of shut right down, so it's only letting a little wisp in. And if you're actually looking at the valve from sort of side on the gate, let me show you. So we've got this there like that, that's shut. We would just open it about that much. And that will allow, so you can actually sort of test this yourself. Say I want to do 2 turns or 2 half turns, that's 1 half, and that's another half. And that build-up of pressure on the back of that valve will then allow us to send more flow to the radiators, and if we want, more flow to the hot water tank, okay? Now we know that this radiator, say that's the last radiator on the system, the one we're struggling to get hot, I'm convinced that most of its flow is being pinched by the fact that we don't have a valve here. So that's why we're going to cut this in, refill, reinstate the system, have this all strangled down, and hopefully we'll be able to get the flow to that radiator in the kitchen. Right, so this one I'm just going to try and slip down. You do have to be a bit brutal. Oh, bloody hell. Hold on. I know what's going to happen here. I'm going to end up bloody putting a hole in the side of my hand. Oh, nearly. Right, there you go. So I know that there we've got enough pipe at the top and enough pipe going at the bottom. So yeah, happy with that. It doesn't take much to nip these either. A good thing is usually, because you've got all this body here, you don't really have to use grips. Right, time to shut every radiator. Now, as we know, Bart's through there on a work call at the moment, a very important one. So when I go in there, I'm going to do this, should be like that. He's not going to have me back, is he? Why? What are you laughing about? Can I do that? Go in there with my top off and give him a kiss on the cheek. Like, hey, babe.
Working out.
Hey, babe, do you want a cup of tea? Is it an important work call? Or just like colleagues?
No video.
Are you what? He's not filming.
I have a team in there.
You watched my videos and you didn't put inhibitor in after working on the system. Max, pack up the stuff, mate. Let's go. No point. System's filled again. Just topping up the pressure now. Because the water coming in is very cold, we're just going to leave it at 1/2 bar for now. Because water comes in at roughly about 8 degrees at the moment, 8 or 9 degrees. And it's going to be warming up actually sat in the radiators, and therefore it will expand. And we won't get an accurate reading on the pressure gauge. Slight drop. Oh, we've got a little bit up here now. Just want to see if there's anywhere to vent this boiler from. The heating's back on, yeah? The boiler is lighting up, revving up like a Saturn V rocket. So, we've got all that on, system's filled up, system's getting hot. We've got a bit of pressure in here, just over 1/2 bar. This is getting nice and warm now. Let me go downstairs and have a little slurp out of my thermos coffee mug. And then we'll see if the radiator's getting hot or not. Still warm. See that big cold blob there? That's her. So yeah, 56 degrees at the top now. And at the bottom we're looking at like 40. Every other radiator is getting hot. The most important thing is as well, we've left a little wisp of heat going through. So when the boiler goes on to pump rundown, which is what they have to do sometimes, just to dissipate their heat when they turn off, it can still do that. I'm going to leave you to put the inhibitor in the heating system. Promise me you'll do it.
Will do.
You've got 2 tubs of it upstairs in the loft. So yeah, all done. We're hot. Look, that's hot. Look at that. Just another success story in the world of plumber parts. Oh, before we go, where's my phone? I want to show you some of the Plumber Parts Academy. If you've got any thick next door neighbours who need to learn a bit about plumbing, here's some of the academy. Right, okay, so we're going to get them to do the end of the video. Negative space, please, Max, so there's somewhere to point.
Thank you very much, Plumber Parts, for sorting out our radiators nice and hot in the house.
And what's
Finally.
the next video here?
That'll be £2,000. Oiga, Mariquita!